Hey everyone, welcome back to Open. Our last guest is a poet and filmmaker on the rise, a multidisciplinary storyteller exploring the intersections of film and folklore in the Dominican Republic and of their own identity as a non binary queer Dominican American artist. Here now to share more is poet and filmmaker Grei. Hey, hello, and welcome.
Hello, hello. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I know it was a little challenging to get you locked down, couldn't get you in studio. Must be
I
very busy
know.
in your world.
I know, but I'm so happy to be able to make it happen in this way, for sure.
Yeah. Well, we're happy to have you. We're happy to have you. So let's talk about how 2023 has been treating you thus far.
Yeah, 2023 thus far has been really good. I can't complain. I feel like I have a sense of clarity that maybe a lot of us can relate to the past like 2 years not having that. So right now, just having like a clearer picture about where I want to put my energy in terms of creative projects, in terms of my own work, in and outside of the arts. So yeah, feeling very level-headed and excited about the future.
So how do you determine where your energy is going to go as far as your projects?
Ooh, that is a great question. I think for me, it's about what's bringing me the most joy in that moment. And right now, I think the past 3 years was really difficult for me to find like a filmmaking opportunity. It allowed me to go deeper into my poetry and whatnot because it's such a, I think, self-reflective medium in itself. But it was hard to like find ways to be collaborative in a film medium. So what I'm looking forward to in 2023 is putting some of that energy into film. So I have a couple projects with friends that I'm looking forward to. I have I'm going to be returning to the Dominican Republic to shoot my next short film called Dulce de Batata with my close friends and collaborators out in Santo Domingo. So yeah, just really excited to get that done. And I think I'm finally getting to decide where my energy gets to go for me.
Good for you. Good for you. It's important to know, right? Dulce de Batata. What a title. You sure know how to come up with them, which brings me to Si Ardiera la Ciudad.
Yes.
That's a very interesting film. And so where do you get the content from? Is this from life experiences? Is this like stuff that just comes to you? It's a very interesting story.
Yes. So Si Ardiera la Ciudad, If the City Burns, the title itself is based off of the main song in the short film, which is Si Ardiera la Ciudad by Leonardo Paniagua, which is an OG Dominican bachatero, really important to the genre. When I was living in the Dominican Republic and I shot this film, I was on a Fulbright research grant doing research on how Dominican folklore affects diasporic Dominican cinema. Very kind of like personal project in a way of like, how can I study folklore to tell more authentic stories as a Dominican person in the US? And in all of that, I was living in my grandparents' house for a couple months. And my grandparents passed in that house. And it just kind of, I was hit with these, I didn't get to meet them. I was a baby. I was hit with these waves of imagining, like, what was their love like? How powerful was it? My grandmother passed away 2 days after my grandfather passed because she just couldn't do it. She told the doctor, the family, like, I refuse to be here without him. So a lot of the story is based on that, like how love transcends planes of existence and of yearning and of just being with another. And that's kind of where the story took root. But that song has been in my life since I was a kid. My mom used to play it all the time. So that's where Si Ardiera comes from, a mix of family stuff and the folklore of DR, the music.
Yeah, and then there's your poetry as well. It was definitely executed in the style of storytelling. You can definitely see the poetry in there.
Thank you. Thank
yeah,
you so much.
Yeah. So you got that. You got me. You hooked me. yeah. That was a good one. And so let's talk about your published work. You've got Ritmo que late y ni de aquí y ni de allá. I know you got me with these tongue twisters. What's up with that?
So those are actually two anthologies that I've had the pleasure of being a part of with the Dominican Writers Association. They find Dominican writers out in the world and give them a platform. So I have two poems in Ni de aquí ni de allá, one that I will be sharing. I have another one in Ritmo que late. I have another one that's hopefully coming out soon via the DWA. I did publish a book when I was 20 years old, but I took it off the shelf. It did well in the time that it was out, but I wanted to just have little bit more years on me before I put out another piece of work that big. So yeah, those pieces were just for the anthology, and they really allowed me to kind of think of myself in a literary way that I haven't thought of myself as a Dominican person. So really, really just grateful that I got that platform in the first place.
So why is it so important for you to have to discuss these topics of your Dominicanism, your Americanism, your non-binaryism?
Yeah. I think for me, at the root of art is a way to see ourselves and see each other. And if I can be intentional and mindful about the art that I put into the world as I am figuring myself out, then hopefully there are other people out there who are queer, Dominican, non-binary, Dominican American, who can find resonance in my stories. I think stories is how we archive a culture. Poetry, filmmaking, they're all just the same mediums for, I think, the same desire, which is to create something that reflects us and lasts. So I think, yeah, it's about archiving. It's about community.
That's great. It's what a self-awareness you have and carry. It's visible. It's visible. So if you're just starting, look out, world.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, no, it's visible, and I'm so happy we're able to share it with our viewers, because the storytelling that you're doing, it really brings out the humanity, right? So if I'm really basing my comments off of the short film that I experienced, and what I really appreciated about it, aside from the fact that you're honoring seniors, you're honoring love in this forum that is really admirable in understanding why the decision that was made. And that's where I'm going to leave it, so that we don't give too much away.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a beautiful dance. And even though there was dancing in it, the story itself was a beautiful dance. So I can see you already have that about you. And also, researching you, I saw that you like to do videos for dancers. So you have this visual style. So I got that as well. Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah. That's why I said we're in trouble. If this is just, I mean that in a good way.
The okay editor, there's more trouble.
It's good trouble. Mm-hmm. So before we go, I want to talk about your night of poetry. Okay, I understand they're going to be participating in a collection of poets. So just tell me how you choose the environments in which you are reciting and or collaborating with, right? Because you mentioned the books that you published in are anthologies, so you're part of a collection, and it seems like you seem to be going in this direction of like sharing your work collectively, even though it's individually.
Yeah, for sure. I think when it comes to my published works, just seeking platforms that are looking to elevate the same voices that I'm eager to elevate, which is why I love the Dominican Writers Association. Shout out to Angie Abreu. And then when it comes to like spoken word, and like I can work on my spoken word. I definitely read off the page. But when it comes to poetry and performance, I've just been saying yes to everything. Saying yes to any and all spaces that invite me, because you really don't know what's waiting on the other side. I did that over the summer. Just like someone was launching an open mic. I didn't know who they were. They just told me, I saw you at another show. Can you come perform at mine? And that singular event opened so many doors to other creatives and creative communities and collectives that has like become like a home for me. There's Troublemakers open mic. There's
and I've been using the term trouble, and look at you.
There you go. Exactly. Full circle. But there's so many spaces being cultivated by really thoughtful, genuine, and talented people.
Right.
And yeah, I just try to say yes to everything. So this one is being put together in Brooklyn at Release Cafe. One of my poet friends is hosting and invited me, and it'll be a 20-minute set of some of my poems. There's a discount code, Grei, Grei, if you are interested in getting a ticket. You can find me online and find a link.
All right, don't go anywhere. When we return, Grei performs for us after the break. You don't want to miss.